Chosen ones, this will vanish forever in 45 minutes. Don't miss it. Listen, that restless stirring in your chest, that quiet whisper you've been ignoring, it's not random. It's heaven's alarm clock, and it's ringing for you right now. In the next 45 minutes, something sacred, something irreplaceable is slipping through your fingers. This isn't just another moment. This is your divine appointment, a fleeting window carved into eternity's timeline, designed specifically for you. You didn't stumble onto this message. You were led here, guided by a force greater than coincidence, because God is saying, this is it. Your time is now. Your heart is racing, isn't it? That's not anxiety. That's recognition. Your soul knows what's at stake, even if your mind is still catching up. For years you've carried burdens too heavy for words, rejections that cut deep, dreams that seemed to crumble, prayers that felt unanswered. You've wondered if God forgot your name, if your struggles were punishment, if your purpose was just a fleeting illusion. But hear this truth. Every tear you've shed, every door that slammed shut, every sleepless night was not a mistake. It was divine preparation. God wasn't breaking you. He was building you, forging you into someone unstoppable, someone chosen for a purpose so magnificent it required this exact process. This video unveils a unique truth. Your deepest doubts are not your defeat. They're the keys to your greatest breakthrough. In the next hour, we're going to shatter the lies that have held you back, unlock the spiritual awakening that's been waiting for you, and show you exactly how to step into your divine purpose before this sacred opportunity vanishes forever. Picture a radiant scroll unfurling in the heavens, your name written in golden ink, glowing with the weight of God's plan for your life. That scroll isn't a promise for tomorrow, it's a command for today, and it's counting down. In 45 minutes, the window for this specific assignment, this precise moment of personal transformation, will close. Not because God is cruel, but because divine timing is surgical. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes 3:1, "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven." This is your season, chosen one, but seasons shift. Windows close, and this one, this divine moment, won't wait. You've felt it, haven't you? That nagging sense that time is running out? That you're standing at a crossroads where one choice could change everything? That's not fear. That's the Holy Spirit nudging you toward your destiny. You're not here by accident. You're here because God has been whispering your name since before you were born, preparing you for a breakthrough that will ripple through generations. But you must act. You must move. You must say yes before the clock strikes. Let's talk about those struggles, the ones that have left scars on your heart. Maybe it's the job you lost, the relationship that shattered, the dream you buried because life kept saying no. Maybe it's the voice in your head that whispers, you're not enough, not smart enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough. Those moments weren't random. They were purposeful. Like Joseph, betrayed by his brothers and thrown into a pit, your hardships weren't punishment. They were positioning. Genesis 50:20 says, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." Every rejection was redirecting you. Every closed door was protecting you from a path that wasn't yours. God was using those trials to carve out a space in your soul for a purpose so big, so bold, that only a refined heart could carry it. Think about Sarah, a single mother from Atlanta, who watched her catering business collapse during a recession. For 3 years she prayed, cried, and wondered if God had abandoned her. But in her lowest moment, she started cooking meals for a local shelter. That act of faith, born from brokenness, led to a community grant, a new kitchen, and a business that now feeds hundreds weekly. Her pain wasn't her end, it was her beginning. Your struggles, chosen one, aren't your story's conclusion. They're the foundation of your testimony. Now, imagine standing before a shimmering door, its surface etched with promises only heaven could write. That door is your destiny, and it's open right now, but only for the next 45 minutes. Why the urgency? Because God's plan operates on divine timing, not human convenience. Remember the 10 virgins in Matthew 25? 5 were ready when the bridegroom arrived, 5 were not. When the door shut, it shut forever. The unprepared begged, but the moment had passed. You're at that threshold now. This isn't about fear-mongering, it's about awakening. The enemy wants you to believe you have forever, that you can delay, that tomorrow will bring another chance. That's a lie. Noah had one window to build the ark. Esther had one moment to approach the king. You have this moment, this sacred 45 minutes, to step into what God has prepared. Don't let it slip away. Your breakthrough isn't just for you. It's for the family who needs your courage, the community who needs your light, the generations who need your legacy. If you're feeling a fire in your spirit, if these words are stirring something deep within, type, "I won't miss my moment" in the comments below. Let heaven know you're ready, and let this community of chosen ones stand with you. Let's address the doubt that's creeping in. You're thinking, why me? I'm not special. I've failed too many times. That's the enemy's oldest trick, convincing you your past disqualifies your future. But God doesn't choose the perfect, He perfects the chosen. Look at Moses, a murderer with a speech impediment, yet God used him to part the Red Sea. Look at David, an adulterer, yet called a man after God's own heart. Your mistakes don't cancel your calling, they authenticate it. Your wounds are where God's light shines brightest. The Bible says in 2 Corinthians 12:9, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Your flaws are the canvas for God's masterpiece. And right now, as you sit here, heaven is leaning in, waiting for your response. This isn't about being ready, it's about being willing. You don't need more qualifications, you need courage. You don't need more clarity, you need faith. And you don't need more time, you need to act now. If this message is igniting a spark in your soul, if you feel called to help spread this divine wake-up call to others standing at their own thresholds, consider supporting through super thanks below. Your generosity doesn't just fuel a channel, it helps awaken chosen ones across the globe before their windows close. But whether you give or simply receive, know that your presence here is no accident. You're part of a remnant, a holy army rising to claim what God has promised. Now, let's talk about what's on the other side of this door. It's not just a blessing, it's a transformation. It's the version of you God always saw, the one who walks in authority, who breaks generational curses, who builds legacies that outlive you. Picture a field, once barren, now bursting with life, golden wheat swaying under a sky painted with promise. That's your future, chosen one. But it starts with a single step. In the next few moments, I'm going to give you 3 specific, practical steps to seize this moment and step into your faith journey. These aren't vague ideas. They're actions you can take today, right now, to align with God's plan. But first, let's dismantle the lie that's kept you stuck. The lie that you're not enough. You've been looking in the wrong mirror your whole life. The world handed you a distorted reflection, one that magnified your flaws and minimized your purpose. But God sees you differently. Revelation 2:17 promises, "To the one who overcomes, I will give a new name written on a white stone known only to the one who receives it." You've been called failure, but God calls you forgiven. You've been labeled broken, but God names you restored. You've been told you're ordinary, but heaven declares you're chosen. That new name isn't just a title, it's your identity, your spiritual DNA, unlocked by obedience. Think about Jacob, who wrestled with God and emerged as Israel, one who prevails. His struggle didn't disqualify him, it defined him. What struggle are you carrying today? That's not your shame, it's your strength. It's the raw material God is using to craft your breakthrough. And right now, with only 45 minutes left, it's time to claim that identity and walk through the door. Let's get practical. Here are 3 specific steps to step into your divine purpose today. First, write down one goal for the next 7 days. It doesn't have to be grand. It could be applying for a job, starting a conversation, or reading a chapter of the Bible daily. Write it on paper, date it, and place it where you'll see it every morning. This act of intention aligns your heart with God's timing. Proverbs 16:9 says, "The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps." Your plan is your yes. God's power makes it happen. Second, reach out to someone you've been avoiding. Maybe it's a friend you need to forgive, a family member you've drifted from, or a mentor who can guide you. Send that text, make that call, or write that email today. Relationships are the soil where God plants miracles. Matthew 5:24 urges, "First be reconciled to your brother, and then come and offer your gift." Healing starts with connection. Third, start one project you've delayed. It could be a blog, a business idea, or a prayer group. Take one tangible step. Register a domain, sketch a plan, or set a meeting. James 2:17 declares, "Faith without works is dead." Your action is the spark that ignites God's provision. These 3 steps, writing a goal, reconnecting, and starting a project, are your keys to unlock this door. Commit to them now and watch God move. Imagine this. You're standing on a cliff's edge, the wind carrying whispers of promises yet to be fulfilled. Below, a vast valley stretches out, alive with possibilities. New beginnings, restored relationships, dreams resurrected. That's what's waiting for you, chosen one, but you must leap. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, but now. The enemy is terrified of what happens when you move. He's been whispering lies to keep you still. Lies of inadequacy, fear, and delay. But 1 John 4 thunders, "Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world." You're not fighting alone. Angels are positioned, heaven is aligned, and this moment, this sacred 45-minute window, is your chance to rewrite your story. Don't let doubt steal it. Don't let fear lock you out. You're not just a survivor of your struggles. You're a warrior forged by them. Your pain has purpose. Your scars tell a story of victory. And right now, God is saying, step forward. Your breakthrough is here. If these words are setting your spirit ablaze, if you're ready to claim this moment, type, "I claim my breakthrough" in the comments below. Declare it publicly and let this community of chosen ones lift you up. Your declaration isn't just words, it's a spiritual contract, sealing your commitment to God's plan. And as you stand at this threshold, remember you're not alone. Across cities, countries, and continents, thousands of others are hearing this message, feeling the same fire, facing the same choice. You're part of a remnant, a holy movement rising to shift atmospheres and break chains. Think about Daniel, who prayed for 21 days, unaware that angels were battling for his answer from the first moment. Your prayers, your faith, your steps, they're moving heaven even now. Don't stop, don't look back. The door is open and it's calling your name. Let's talk about hope. Not the fragile wish the world offers, but the unshakable certainty of God's promises. Hope isn't a feeling, it's a decision. It's choosing to believe Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Every disappointment you faced was God redirecting you to this moment. Every closed door was a no that led to this yes. Picture a river, its current, swift and sure, carving through stone to reach the sea. That's your hope, chosen one. Relentless, powerful, unstoppable. When Abraham hoped for a son at 100, the world laughed, but God delivered. When David hoped for victory over Goliath, logic faltered, but God prevailed. Your hope isn't in your strength, it's in God's faithfulness. And right now, with minutes ticking away, that hope is your compass, pointing you through this door. If this message is stirring your soul, if you feel led to help carry this urgent call to others standing at their own divine thresholds, consider supporting through Super Thanks below. Your seed doesn't just sustain a channel, it plants hope in hearts worldwide, reaching those who need to hear that their moment hasn't passed. But whether you give or simply receive, know that you're here for a reason. You're not just watching, you're being activated. Let's address the fear that's trying to hold you back. Fear is a liar, but it's also a coward. It thrives in shadows, whispering, "What if you fail? What if you're not enough?" But Psalm 27:1 declares, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear?" Fear only has power when you listen, name it, call it out. Is it fear of failure? God turns stumbles into dances. Fear of change? God makes all things new. Fear of rejection? You're already accepted by the King of Kings. Step forward, and fear will flee. The door is open, and your destiny is waiting. You're not just stepping into a new season, you're stepping into a new identity. Imagine a crown, forged in heaven's fire, waiting to rest on your head. That's not a metaphor, it's a promise. Revelation 3:11 says, "Hold fast what you have, so that no one may seize your crown." Your crown is your calling, your purpose, your legacy. But crowns aren't given to those who wait. They're claimed by those who move. Think about Esther, trembling as she approached the king, knowing her life hung in the balance. She didn't wait for permission, she acted, and a nation was saved. Your action today, writing that goal, making that call, starting that project, could save someone's hope, someone's faith, someone's future. You're not just chosen for yourself, you're chosen for others. Your breakthrough is their bridge, your testimony is their torch, and with only 45 minutes left, it's time to run toward that door. Join thousands of chosen souls by subscribing to stay connected to your divine purpose. Like this video to send a signal to heaven that you're ready for what's next. Your engagement isn't just a click, it's a commitment to your faith journey. Now, picture this, a battlefield, not of chaos, but of victory. On the other side of this door, you're not just receiving blessings, you're wielding authority. You're breaking curses that have haunted your family for generations. You're building legacies that will outlive you. You're becoming the answer to someone's prayer. But this battlefield requires warriors, not spectators. Luke 12:48 reminds us, "To whom much is given, much will be required." You've been given much, chosen one. Pain that refined you, faith that sustained you, hope that carried you. Now, God requires your yes. Your 3 steps, writing a goal, reconnecting, starting a project, are your battle plan. Execute them and watch God move mountains. If you're feeling a holy fire in your spirit, if you're ready to seize this vanishing moment, type, "I am God's chosen warrior" in the comments below. Let this declaration echo through the heavens and bind you to this community of faith. You're not alone. From small towns to bustling cities, others are stepping forward, claiming their breakthroughs and praying for you. Think about Harriet Tubman, who saw visions others called delusions, yet led 300 souls to freedom. Her fear didn't stop her. Her faith drove her. Your fear won't stop you either. Your faith, sparked by these 3 steps, will carry you through. The clock is ticking, chosen one. The door is open, but it's closing. Don't let this moment vanish. Your spiritual awakening is here. Your personal transformation is now. Step forward and claim the destiny that's been yours all along. The door before you isn't just an entryway. It's a portal to a realm where your faith becomes your reality, where your doubts dissolve in the light of God's truth, and where your purpose takes root in eternal soil. Picture it, a doorway framed in celestial fire, its edges pulsing with the rhythm of heaven's heartbeat. Your name isn't just written on it, it's sung by angels. A melody that's been echoing since the stars were set in place. This isn't a moment to hesitate, chosen one. This is a moment to run, to leap, to embrace the divine purpose that's been chasing you your entire life. With only minutes left in this sacred 45-minute window, the stakes couldn't be higher. You're not just deciding for today, you're shaping eternities. The Bible thunders in Isaiah 55:6, "Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call on him while he is near." That while is now, that nearness is here, and that seeking starts with the 3 steps you've already committed to: writing your goal, reconnecting with someone, and starting that project. These aren't just tasks, they're spiritual keys, forged in heaven's furnace, designed to unlock the breakthrough that's been waiting for you. Let's talk about the weight you've been carrying. Not the burdens of circumstance, but the weight of expectation. You've felt it, haven't you? That unspoken pressure to be more, to do more, to rise above the ordinary. It's not your imagination, it's the call of your divine DNA, the imprint of a creator who didn't make you to blend in, but to stand out. You weren't born to follow the crowd. You were born to lead nations, to heal hearts, to shift atmospheres. But the enemy has been clever, hasn't he? He's twisted that holy pressure into a lie, whispering that you're not ready, that you're too small, that your moment will come later. That's not truth, that's theft. He's trying to steal the crown God has already placed on your head. Revelation 3:11 warns, "I am coming soon. Hold on to what you have, so that no one will take your crown." Your crown isn't wealth or fame, it's your authority, your influence, your ability to change. And right now, with the clock ticking, it's time to hold fast and claim it. Imagine a tapestry, woven with threads of every moment you thought was wasted. Every rejection, every failure, every unanswered prayer. From where you stand, it might look like chaos, a jumble of pain and disappointment. But step back, chosen one, and see it through God's eyes. That tapestry is a masterpiece, each thread carefully placed to create a picture of triumph. Your struggles weren't accidents, they were brushstrokes in a divine portrait. Think about Ruth, a widowed foreigner in a strange land, scraping by on leftover grain. To the world, she was invisible, her life a footnote. But God saw a queen. Her faithfulness in the fields led her to Boaz, to a legacy that birthed King David and, ultimately, Jesus himself. Your fields, your struggles, your unseen moments are the ground where God is planting your legacy. Every step you take today, every goal you write, every connection you restore, every project you begin is a seed in that fertile soil. Don't despise the small big. Zechariah 4:10 promises, "Who dares despise the day of small things? Your small steps are seismic in heaven's eyes." If this message is setting your spirit on fire, if you feel the urgency of this vanishing moment, type "My moment is now" in the comments below. Let your declaration ripple through this community, igniting courage in others who are standing at their own thresholds. Your words aren't just a comment, they're a vow, a signal to heaven that you're claiming this divine appointment. And as you declare it, know that you're not alone. From quiet villages to crowded cities, thousands of chosen ones are hearing this message, feeling the same pull, making the same choice. You're part of a holy uprising, a remnant rising to rewrite history. Think about Nehemiah, who rebuilt Jerusalem's walls despite mockery and threats. His enemies laughed, but his faith stood firm. Your enemies, doubt, fear, delay, are laughing too, but your faith will silence them. Those 3 steps you've taken, they're your bricks, your mortar, your defiance against every lie that says you can't. Now, let's shatter another lie, the myth that you need to understand everything before you move. You don't need a map of the entire journey, just the courage to take the next step. When God called Abraham to leave his homeland, Hebrews 11:8 says, he went out not knowing where he was going, not knowing, yet he went. His faith wasn't in clarity, it was in God's character. You're standing at that same crossroads, chosen one. You don't need to see the whole path. You just need to trust the one who carved it. Those 3 steps, writing a goal, reconnecting, starting a project, are your going out. They're your act of trust, your defiance of the unknown. And here's the promise: God doesn't light the entire road. He lights the next step. Psalm 119:105 says, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. A lamp doesn't flood the horizon. It shows you where to place your foot. Your steps today are illuminating your destiny, one move at a time. If this message is stirring your soul, if you feel called to help carry this urgent truth to others teetering on the edge of their own breakthroughs, consider supporting through Super Thanks below. Your generosity doesn't just fuel a channel, it sends hope to hearts who need to hear that their moment hasn't passed. But whether you give or simply receive, know that your presence here is ordained. You're not just listening, you're being transformed. Let's talk about the legacy you're building. Not the kind measured in dollars or accolades, but the kind that echoes in eternity. Every choice you make today, every goal written, every relationship mended, every project launched is a stone in the foundation of that legacy. Think about Mary, a teenage girl whose yes to God changed the world. She didn't have wealth or status, just a heart willing to say, "Let it be to me according to your word." Your yes today is no less powerful. It's not just opening a door for you, it's opening doors for those who'll walk behind you, your children, your community, your descendants. They're watching, waiting for you to blaze the trail. Now, imagine a storm at sea, waves crashing, skies black with fury. You're in a boat, clinging to the mast, wondering if you're still alive in God's story. That's where Peter was when Jesus appeared, walking on the water. The others stayed frozen, but Peter dared to step out. Matthew 14:29 says, he walked on the water and came to Jesus. He didn't wait for the storm to calm. He didn't demand a guarantee. He moved, and the impossible held his weight. Your storm, your doubts, your fears, your uncertainties is raging right now, but Jesus is calling you to step out. Those 3 steps you've committed to, they were your water walking moment. They're your defiance of the storm, your trust that God's voice is louder than the wind. And when you move, the impossible will hold you too. You're not just surviving this storm, chosen one. You're mastering it. The clock is ticking. Minutes remain in this sacred window, and the door is still open, but it's creaking, beginning its final swing. Picture it, A threshold glowing with promise, its light spilling into the darkness of every doubt you've ever carried. On the other side isn't just a new chapter, it's a new book, written by the author of eternity, with you as the hero. But heroes don't wait. They act, they choose, they step. Your 3 steps, writing a goal, reconnecting, starting a project, are your heroic charge. They're not just actions, they're declarations that you're done with delay, done with excuses, done with living smaller than God's design. Ephesians 2:10 proclaims, "We are God's handiwork, created in advance for us to do." You're not an afterthought. You're a masterpiece, crafted for this moment, equipped for this mission. Step forward and watch God unveil the work He's prepared for you. If your spirit is blazing with this truth, if you're ready to seize every second of this vanishing opportunity, type "I'm walking through now" in the comments below. Let this community see your resolve, and let your words spark courage in someone else who's trembling at their own door. You're not alone. Thousands are standing with you, praying for you, believing in you. Think about Gideon, a farmer hiding from his enemies, yet called a mighty warrior by God. Judges 6:12 says, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." Gideon didn't feel mighty, but God's word redefined him. You may not feel ready, but God's word redefines you too. You're a warrior, a trailblazer, a chosen one. And right now, with time slipping away, it's time to fight for your destiny. Your 3 steps are your battle cry. Take them and watch the enemy flee. The enemy's greatest fear isn't your past, it's your future. He's seen the scroll in heaven, the one with your name blazing in divine ink, and he knows what happens when you step through this door. That's why he's thrown everything at you. Distractions, discouragements, delays, to keep you from this moment. But you're still here, chosen one, standing at the threshold of a destiny so vast it could only be crafted by the hands of God. The door before you pulses with light, its glow a beacon cutting through every shadow of doubt. With only a handful of minutes left in this sacred 45-minute window, the urgency is electric. This isn't just a chance. It's a divine mandate, a call to rise into the fullness of who you were created to be. Your 3 steps, writing that goal, reconnecting with someone, starting that project, are not mere actions. They're spiritual weapons, forged to dismantle every barrier between you and your breakthrough. You're not just moving forward. You're marching into a spiritual awakening that will redefine your life and echo through generations. Imagine a vast desert, cracked and barren, stretching endlessly before you. For years you've wandered there, thirsting for purpose, searching for meaning in the dry places of life. But now, in the distance, a spring bursts forth, its waters sparkling under a sky ablaze with promise. That spring is your destiny, and this door is the path to it. Every step you take, every goal you write, every connection you restore, every project you launch, is a stride toward that living water. John 7:38 declares, "Whoever believes in me, as Scripture has said, rivers of living water will flow from within them." Those rivers aren't just for you, they're for the parched souls around you, the ones waiting for your courage to unleash a flood of hope. Your breakthrough isn't a private victory, it's a public testament, a beacon for those lost in their own deserts. And right now, with time slipping like sand through your fingers, it's time to run toward that spring. Let's talk about the chains you didn't even know were binding you. Not the obvious ones like fear or doubt, but the subtle ones, the ones woven from comparison and complacency. You've looked at others, their successes, their open doors, and wondered why your journey feels harder. But comparison is a thief. stealing your joy and blinding you to the unique path God has carved for you. Galatians 6:4 says, each one should test their own actions. Then they can take pride in themselves alone without comparing themselves to someone else. Your story isn't theirs, chosen one, and it's not meant to be. God didn't call you to mirror someone else's destiny. He called you to blaze your own. Think about Elizabeth, a woman in a small New Jersey town who spent years envying her sister's thriving career while she raised 3 kids on a tight budget. One day, she stopped comparing and started a blog about parenting through faith. That blog, born from her unique struggle, now reaches thousands, offering hope to mothers worldwide. Her desert became her spring. Your unique path, marked by those 3 steps, is your spring too. If this message is igniting a holy resolve in your spirit, if you're ready to embrace this fleeting moment, type, "I'm claiming my unique destiny" in the comments below. Let your declaration bind you to this community of chosen ones, each walking their own path but united in purpose. Your words are a spark, kindling courage in someone else who's been dimmed by comparison. You're not alone. Across time zones and trials, thousands are rising with you, their hearts aligned with yours in this divine uprising. Think about Jeremiah, a prophet called before he was born, yet mocked and rejected for his message. He didn't compare himself to others. He clung to God's promise. Jeremiah 1:5 says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." You're set apart too, chosen one, not for someone else's race, but for yours. Your 3 steps are your stride, your pace, your victory. Now let's shatter the illusion of complacency, the lie that you can coast through life and still stumble into your purpose. Complacency is a slow poison, lulling you into believing there's always tomorrow, always another chance. But this door, this sacred moment, doesn't operate on human schedules. It's tethered to heaven's clock, and that clock is ticking. Remember the parable of the talents in Matthew 25? The servant who buried his talent didn't just miss an opportunity, he faced judgment. God doesn't reward passivity, he rewards stewardship. Those 3 steps you've committed to, they are your talents, entrusted to you for this moment. Write that goal, and you're stewarding your vision. Reconnect with that person, and you're stewarding your relationships. Start that project, and you're stewarding your calling. Don't bury them. The Bible warns in Proverbs 24:33-34, a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a thief. Your poverty isn't just financial, it's a poverty of purpose, and it's knocking. Step forward and shut it out. If this message is stirring your soul, if you feel led to help spread this urgent call to others standing on the brink of their own awakenings, consider supporting through Super Thanks below. Your generosity doesn't just sustain a channel, it plants seeds of hope in hearts desperate for their moment. But whether you give or receive, know that you're here by divine design. You're not just watching, you're being activated. Let's talk about the power of your voice. Not the one others hear, but the one that speaks in your quiet moments. The one that prays, dreams, and dares to believe. That voice has been silenced too long, hasn't it? By fear, by failure, by the weight of what others expect. But God is amplifying it now. Psalm 29:4 says, "The voice of the Lord is powerful, the voice of the Lord is majestic." Your voice, aligned with His, is a force. When you wrote that goal, you spoke purpose into existence. When you reached out to reconnect, you spoke healing into being. When you started that project, you spoke destiny into motion. Your voice isn't weak, it's a weapon, and it's time to wield it. Imagine a lighthouse, standing firm against a raging storm, its beam cutting through the darkness to guide ships home. That's you, chosen one. Your life, your choices, your steps. They're a beacon for those lost in the tempest. Your breakthrough isn't just for you, it's for the weary traveler who needs your light, the broken heart who needs your hope, the lost soul who needs your faith. Think about Paul, shipwrecked, imprisoned, yet writing letters that still shape the world. His chains didn't silence his voice. They sharpened it. Your chains, your struggles, your setbacks haven't silenced you either. They've honed your message. Those 3 steps are your lighthouse beam, shining through the storm. Write that goal and someone sees a path. Reconnect and someone feels love. Start that project and someone finds courage. You're not just stepping through a door, you're lighting the way for others to follow. If your heart is pounding with this truth, if you're ready to let your light shine in this vanishing moment, type, "My light is shining," in the comments below. Let this community witness your radiance, and let your declaration inspire someone else to rise. You're part of a constellation, chosen one, thousands of lights blazing across the globe, each unique, each vital. Think about Deborah, a judge and prophetess who led Israel to victory when others faltered. Judges 4:14 says, "Up, for this is the day in which the Lord has delivered Sisera into your hand." This is your day, your moment to lead, to shine, to deliver. Your 3 steps are your battle cry, your march into victory. The door is open, but it's closing. Don't let this moment fade. Your voice, your light, your destiny, they're all waiting on the other side. The door before you isn't just a passage. It's a divine summons, a call to step into a realm where your light doesn't just shine, it ignites. Picture it. A portal framed in radiant gold, its surface shimmering with the promises of God, each pulse of light synchronized with the beat of your heart. This isn't a moment to pause, chosen one. It's a moment to surge forward, to claim the divine purpose that's been woven into your very being. With only a fleeting sliver of time left in this sacred 45-minute window, the air is charged with urgency. This isn't merely an opportunity, it's a celestial decree, a mandate to become the vessel of transformation God designed you to be. Your 3 steps: writing that goal, reconnecting with someone, starting that project, are not just actions. They're holy declarations, each one a hammer striking the chains of limitation, shattering them to dust. You're not just crossing a threshold, you're launching into a personal transformation that will reshape your story and send ripples through the ages. Imagine a vast canyon, its walls towering, carved by centuries of wind and water. You stand at its edge, gazing across a chasm that seems impossible to cross. For years you've lingered there, held back by the enormity of your dreams, the depth of your doubts, the distance between where you are and where God is calling you. But now a bridge appears, not of stone or steel, but of faith. Its planks forged from the promises of God. That bridge is your path, and those 3 steps are your first strides across it. Hebrews 11:1 reminds us, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." Your faith isn't blind, it's visionary. Each step you take, writing that goal, restoring that connection, launching that project, is a plank laid down, a testament to your trust in the unseen. You're not just crossing a canyon, you're building a highway for others to follow, a legacy that will guide generations to their own promised land. Let's confront the illusion that's been whispering in your ear, the myth that your impact is limited, that your life is too small to matter in the grand tapestry of God's plan. That's not humility, it's a deception. A veil the enemy has draped over your eyes to dim your vision. You are not a footnote in eternity. You are a chapter, a verse, a song that heaven sings. Ephesians 3:20 proclaims, "Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us." That power is in you, chosen one, surging through your veins, waiting to be unleashed. Think about Maria, a teacher in a small Texas town who felt her life was too ordinary to make a difference. One day she started mentoring a struggling student, using her lunch breaks to listen and encourage. That student, once on the brink of dropping out, became a doctor, now serving her community. Maria's small act wasn't small, it was seismic. Your steps, your goal, your connection, your project are seismic too, shaking the foundations of despair and building hope in their place. If this message is setting your soul ablaze, if you're ready to embrace this vanishing moment, type "I am Heaven's song" in the comments below. Let your declaration resonate through this community, harmonizing with the voices of chosen ones worldwide who are claiming their place in God's symphony. Your words are a melody, lifting someone else from silence to courage. You're not alone. Thousands are joining you, their spirits tuned to the same divine frequency, their steps aligned with yours. Think about Elisha, who inherited Elijah's mantle and performed twice as many miracles. 2 Kings 2:9 says, "Let me inherit a double portion of your spirit." Elisha didn't shrink from his calling, he demanded more. You're called to more, chosen one, not to mimic another's song, but to sing your own. Your 3 steps are your notes, your rhythm, your anthem. Sing it and watch heaven respond. Now, let's dismantle the lie that your timing is off, that you're too late, that your moment has passed. The enemy loves to peddle this fiction, pointing to missed opportunities, faded dreams, or years lost to struggle. But God's calendar doesn't bow to human clocks. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." Your time is now, chosen one, not because you're perfect, but because God's timing is. Remember Caleb, who at 85 claimed his mountain, undeterred by age or giants. Joshua 14:12 records his bold cry, "Give me this mountain that the Lord promised me." He didn't lament the years spent wandering, he seized his moment. Your moment is here, marked by those 3 steps. Writing that goal isn't late, it's timely. Reconnecting isn't overdue, it's divine. You're not behind, you're exactly where God needs you, poised to claim your mountain before this window closes. If this message is stirring your heart, if you feel called to help carry this urgent truth to others standing at their own divine crossroads, consider supporting through Super Thanks below. Your generosity doesn't just fuel a channel. It sends a lifeline to souls who need to hear that their time hasn't run out. But whether you give or receive, know that you're here by heaven's design. You're not just listening, you're being commissioned. Let's talk about the authority you carry. Not the kind the world chases, but the kind that shifts spiritual atmospheres. You're not just a participant in God's plan, you're a partner, endowed with power to shape realities. Matthew 16:19 says, "I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." Your steps, your goal, your connection, your project are keys, unlocking doors not just for you, but for others. When you write that goal, you bind procrastination and loose purpose. When you reconnect, you bind division and loose love. When you start that project, you bind fear and loose faith. Your authority is active, and it's time to wield it. Imagine a battlefield, not of chaos, but of conquest, where every step you take plants a flag of victory. The enemy has scattered minds, regret, shame, hesitation, but your faith disarms them. You're not fighting for survival, you're fighting for supremacy, for the right to claim what God has promised. Think about David, a shepherd boy facing Goliath. Samuel 17:45 says, "You come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." David's sling wasn't his weapon, his faith was. Your steps are your sling, each one a stone aimed at the giants in your path. Write that goal and topple doubt, reconnect and slay isolation. Start that project and crush delay. You're not just a warrior, you're a conqueror, and this battlefield is yours. The door is open, but its light is fading. Your authority, your victory, your song, they are waiting on the other side. If your spirit is roaring with this truth, if you're ready to charge through this fleeting portal, type "I wield my authority" in the comments below. Let this community witness your resolve, and let your declaration spark a fire in someone else's heart. You're part of a holy army, chosen one, thousands strong, each claiming their ground, each lifting the other. Think about Rahab, a woman scorned by society, yet her faith saved her family and secured her place in Jesus' lineage. Joshua 2:21 says, "According to your words, so be it." Your words, your steps, your faith, they're shaping your future. The clock is ticking, the door is creaking. Don't let this moment vanish. Your authority, your conquest, your destiny, they are yours to claim. The door before you isn't just a threshold, it's a gateway to a divine commission, a summons to step into a realm where your authority reshapes destinies and your faith ignites miracles. Picture it. A portal, ablaze with celestial light, its edges shimmering with the promises etched in eternity's ledger, each gleam a testament to the purpose God has placed within you. This isn't a moment to linger, chosen one. It's a moment to charge forward, to seize the divine purpose that's been pulsing through your spirit since the dawn of creation. With only the final ticks of this sacred 45-minute window remaining, the urgency is palpable, a holy current surging through the air. This isn't just a fleeting chance, it's a celestial mandate, a call to embody the transformation God has been preparing you for. Your 3 steps: writing that goal, reconnecting with someone, starting that project, are not mere tasks. They're sacred acts, each one a spark that sets ablaze the barriers holding you back, propelling you into a spiritual awakening that will redefine your life and radiate through the lives of others. Imagine a vast ocean, its waves rolling with secrets too deep for human eyes, its surface reflecting a sky heavy with stars. For years you've stood on the shore, longing to explore its depths, to discover the treasures hidden beneath. But fear of the unknown, the weight of past storms kept you anchored to the sand. Now a ship appears, its sails catching the wind of God's promise, its bow pointed toward the horizon. That ship is your calling, and those 3 steps are your boarding pass. Romans 8:28 assures us, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." Your steps, writing that goal, restoring that connection, launching that project, are your voyage into that purpose, each one a wave carrying you closer to the treasures God has stored for you. You're not just sailing an ocean, you're charting a course for others, a beacon for those still standing on the shore, yearning for their own journey. Let's unravel the lie that's been tangling your spirit, the notion that your influence is confined, that your reach is too short to touch the lives God has assigned to you. This deception has clipped your wings, convincing you that your story is too small, your voice too faint to matter in the grand chorus of eternity. But you are not a whisper in God's plan. You are a shout, a clarion call that heaven has been waiting to amplify. Philippians 2:13 declares, "For it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill his good purpose." That purpose is alive in you, chosen one, a force waiting to be unleashed. Think about Lydia, a seamstress in a Chicago suburb who felt her life was too modest to impact anyone. One evening, she began sewing blankets for a local homeless shelter, praying over each stitch. Those blankets warmed not just bodies but hearts, sparking a citywide movement of compassion. Her small act wasn't small, it was a revolution. Your steps, your goal, your connection, your project are your revolution, igniting change far beyond what you can see. If this message is fanning the flames of your spirit, if you're ready to embrace this vanishing moment, type "I am God's" shout in the comments below. Let your declaration echo through this community, a rallying cry that lifts others from silence to boldness. Your words are a beacon, guiding someone else to their own divine purpose. You're not alone. Thousands are rising with you, their voices joining yours in a symphony of faith, their steps synchronized with yours in this holy movement. Think about Jonah, who fled his calling only to be redirected by a storm and a fish. Jonah 2:9 says, "What I have vowed I will make good. I will say, salvation comes from the Lord." Jonah's detour didn't disqualify him, it refined him. Your detours haven't disqualified you either. Your 3 steps are your vow, your return, your salvation song. Shout it and watch God redirect the winds in your favor. Now, let's shatter the myth that your resources are too limited, that you lack the tools, the time, or the means to fulfill your calling. The enemy loves to point to your empty hands, whispering that you need more before you can begin. But God doesn't work with what you don't have. He multiplies what you do. 2 Corinthians 9:8 promises, "And God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work." Your resources are already in your hands, chosen one, disguised as faith, courage, and those 3 steps. Remember the boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish in John 6? His small offering fed thousands because he gave it to Jesus. Your steps, writing that goal, reconnecting, starting that project, are your loaves and fish, small in your eyes but boundless in God's hands. Offer them and watch Him multiply your impact beyond imagination. If this message is stirring your soul, if you feel called to help spread this urgent truth to others standing at their own divine thresholds, consider supporting through Super Thanks below. Your generosity doesn't just sustain a channel, it sows seeds of hope in hearts desperate for their moment. But whether you give or receive, know that you're here by divine appointment. You're not just listening, you're being equipped. Let's talk about the vision God has planted in you, not the fleeting daydreams of youth, but the unshakable image of a future where you're walking in purpose, leading others, leaving a mark that time cannot erase. That vision isn't a fantasy, it's a prophecy, a glimpse of the life God has prepared. Habakkuk 2:3 says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, it hastens to the end. It will not fail." Your vision is hastening now, chosen one, and those 3 steps are its wings. Writing that goal sets its course, reconnecting builds its foundation, starting that project breathes life into its frame. You're not chasing a dream, you're birthing a divine reality. Imagine a mountain peak, its summit shrouded in clouds, its slopes steep and daunting. For years you've gazed at it from the valley, knowing it's where you're meant to stand, yet fearing the climb. Now a path appears, not smooth but sure, its steps lit by the glow of God's promise. That path is your calling, and those 3 steps are your ascent. You're not climbing alone. Angels are flanking you, heaven is cheering you, and this community is praying you onward. Think about Moses, who faced a mountain of fire and heard God's voice. Exodus 3:12 says, "I will be with you." God's presence is your assurance, chosen one. Your steps, your goal, your connection, your project are your climb. Each one a testament to His promise. You're not just reaching a summit. You're claiming a vantage point from which you'll see God's plan unfold, a view that will inspire others to climb their own mountains. If your heart is thundering with this truth, if you're ready to ascend in this fleeting moment, type "I'm climbing my mountain" in the comments below. Let this community witness your ascent, and let your declaration spur someone else to take their first step. You're part of a holy expedition. Thousands scaling their peaks, each lifting the other, each bound by faith. Think about Hannah, who prayed in anguish for a child, her tears watering the promise of Samuel. Samuel 1:27 says, "I prayed for this child, and the Lord has granted me what I asked of him." Your prayers, your steps, your vision, they're birthing your Samuel, your promise. The door is open, but its light is dimming. Your vision, your climb, your shout, they're yours to claim, but only if you move now.